It's completely normal and healthy for companies and businesses to go out of business. That is, especially if they are unhealthy. So if, for example, you have this situation in Springfield, Ohio, and other places where companies are laying off Americans, they're getting rid of American employees to bring in a bunch of foreign slaves at the expense of the community and everything else, yeah, that's not supposed to happen. Those companies are supposed to go out of business. Lots and lots and lots of companies are completely unhealthy, and they're trying to prop all this up for the shareholders. The shareholders are your gamblers. They are the people that are supposed to be losing money, not everybody else, not the people doing all the work. The people that are actually showing up doing all the work, they're not gambling, right? They're showing up and saying, hey, okay, I mean, you're agreeing to pay me, and so like they're and nowhere in that transaction is a gamble other than they're being paid in worthless chicken shit dollars. But that's a different video. But they're not trying to gamble, right? The shareholders are trying to gamble. These guys are the ones that go there. They're just trying to make a return so that they can, buy a G-Wagon and a Submariner. That's all they give a fuck about, okay? Those people are supposed to be losing. Like, well, but my dad's 401k, blah, blah, blah. Like, yeah, they should be losing money too. It was never intended, the stock market was never intended to be a savings account. I've been over that repeatedly, okay? I mean, like, I'm not even going to bring that up again. It's never intended to be a savings account. You're only supposed to put money in there that you can afford to lose. And I'm sorry that so many brokers told you that, well, you could put money in here and make money, and you could make 12% a year, even though inflation's like 15%. I mean, like, this is what's happened here. The gamblers, the speculators, and these unhealthy companies are supposed to be all losing right now. Not all of the people that are the employees. And for those of you that are wondering, like, well, what happens to all those employees if the company goes under? Then this is where your Limbaugh people, come in, or what I call the former Limbaugh people, right? Because I mean, he's gone. But they say, like, well, but then there won't be any more jobs. Like, that's not true. That's not true at all. What happens is real entrepreneurs who actually are competent, who know what the hell they're doing, they move in, they buy all his assets up for basically nothing because they're not worth anything in most cases until you do something with it. It's sort of like real estate. It isn't really worth anything until you actually do something with it, as evidenced by all the vacant land all over this country. And if you haven't seen that, you don't get out much. I would tell you to go take a road trip. So, it doesn't have any value, so they pick these things up, and then they make the company healthy again. They restructure the business itself. They make the company healthy. They bring wages up so they can bring quality up, so they can compete for better labor. Because remember, you compete for two things in business, and this is not what they're going to teach you at Harvard fucking Business School. You don't just compete for customers, you compete for labor as well. And if you can't compete for labor, then you are going to just have a shit product, and you're eventually going to turn into one of these unhealthy, shitty companies that goes out of business. And rightly so. So someone else, like I said, the real guys, the real entrepreneurs, they go in there, we buy all this stuff up, we raise wages, we look for really good, competent people, we look for people, that can do the job. Now, we may have high expectations, but we're also going to pay for that too. And then we make the company healthy, and we make the business itself overall healthy again. And because we've cut out all the speculators, we cut out all the gamblers, we cut out all the banks, we cut out all the interest rates, we cut all that stuff out. And we probably cut all of the tax burden down significantly as well too. So that's how that's supposed to work in a normal, healthy, free market economy. The same kind of economy that a bunch of people say they want until they see work. Then they don't want a free market economy. I've said this for a long time. Everybody wants a free market until they have a free market. Then they want communism. It's fucking retarded.